Attention NHL! This is a public service announcement. The Colorado Avalanche have more depth than you. Get over it. Avs win over the Florida Panthers 5-4 in overtime. This was not a clean game. In fact, for the Avs, the first half of it was pretty much the opposite of fun, but they managed to pull it out. Let's get a couple of things out of the way immediately. Number one, the three-headed monster had a brutal game. They were just off all night long. At best, they were invisible, and at worst, they were actively hurting the team. It's a rarity to see this happen, but it will happen from time to time, and the fact that the Avs won this game anyway, well, that's pretty scary. Number two, the Avs defense had a worse night than the three-headed monster. There were a couple of decent performances. I think on the whole, Ian Cole and Ryan Graves played fairly well, but the other four, it was a big struggle. As the game went on, they cleaned it up enough to call it passable, but really, and in the first period especially, it was just not good enough. The puck management was absolutely awful in all three zones. Turnovers were incessant all night long, and that was evident from the get-go here. Starting off early in the first, the Avs immediately were fighting the puck, and it didn't take long for Florida to capitalize. Pretty standard breakout here for Florida. They're just going to go cross-ice to Huberdeau on the near side. The Avs have three people back with EJ off-screen here. Florida is going to be on a three-man rush. Everything looks normal, except Sam Girard is caught in the middle of the ice here, and you're going to see as Huberdeau collects this, EJ is also on the far side, meaning there is nothing covering this entire two-thirds of the ice for the Avs. Not exactly sure what happened. It looks like EJ was trying to be the last man back and covering for the stretch pass, which is fine, but there needs to be a communication there. Either Girard or EJ needs to talk, let them know what they're doing so someone covers the near side. You can't both get caught like that. This gives Huberdeau plenty of space to walk in. You can see he gets well inside the circles before EJ can even try and contest the shot, and he's just going to unload one here. Might be one Grubauer would like back. He's a little nonchalant about missing with the glove on this one, but it just gets by him. Just not a great start for the Avs, and that confusion defensively was something that stood out all game long. Here, didn't look good. Obviously, you never want to start slow and start rough, but it's not that big of a deal, a whole lot of game ahead. The problem is that goal doesn't seem to wake up the Avs at all in any way, shape, or form. They continue being extremely messy with the puck and struggling to really generate much going in the right direction until Matt Calvert takes a high stick to the face, and the Avs get a double minor opportunity. This is a moment that can turn a struggle of a game into one where the Avs are completely in control. It has that potential, and it looked like it might do just that when McKinnon hits the post early in the power play. But after that post, the power play pretty much dies an ugly and lazy death. It was not pretty. They struggled to generate even a single shot on goal, and then it got worse. A loose scramble puck in the slot area here that the Avs eventually end up losing. No one can really control it for a while, but eventually Florida does, and you're going to see Sam double thinks here. First, he cuts this way to turn and cover, then he decides, nope, I need to cut back the other way to turn and cover. This makes him extremely slow off the blocks, and he's going to get beat clean, leading to a breakaway up the ice. This time, Grubauer can't bail him out. That puck battle kind of summed up this game for the Avs. There were individuals fighting for pucks, trying to put the effort in, but things weren't quite clicking, and they weren't getting the support they needed to make it work. It was one individual against the entire Panthers team a lot of the time, and then you pile on a couple of mistakes and pucks end up in the Avs net. I've held off worrying about the power play because it was getting the job done in the first handful of games, but tonight it got taken to its ultimate demise. It was ugly tonight, simply not good enough. When the skill side of things isn't carrying it through, it just looks bad. Too much stagnation, not enough work from the forwards, and lazy play all the way around. You're never gonna get quality chances with stuff like that. The only good news here is at least that second goal seemed to wake the Avs up, and they started playing with a little bit more urgency and a little bit more intensity, like, you know, actually playing offense, the thing that you're supposed to do. Funnily enough, when you do that, you usually end up scoring goals. It's already been a hard-working shift for the Avs in the offensive zone. Cole and Confer are going to play a bit of catch here before eventually Cole opts to just fire one in. Don't love this shot. Coming from the far corner of the point here with multiple bodies in front, there's a really low chance that this actually gets through. However, given the way the Avs had played up to this point, just getting shots on net isn't the worst idea. Really not a great shot. It's probably going well wide here if you take a look at it, and it ends up getting deflected off of a Panthers stick. So maybe a bit of luck, but you're going to see a fantastic reaction from Donskoy here. The puck bounces through, possibly off of Bobrovsky, but hard to tell, to just outside the net. Donskoy is able to collect the puck, realize he has it and has an opportunity, and then just stuff it in, tuck it around the post, and able to beat everyone. A really, really messy goal, but you need some of those, especially when the Avs are playing as weak as they had been up to that point in the first. The feeling of getting back in the game for the Avs was pretty short-lived, though, as they immediately went right back to consistently turning the puck over and just having no communication or connection on the ice. Constantly pucks were getting missed, passes to no one, and just sloppy hockey. And playing like that for any extended period of time only leads to one thing: a goal against. This entire goal can be described as Cale Makar having a bad time. He's going to see the puck that has been rimmed by Florida coming up the boards here. He picks his head up just for a second to see where Matt Nieto is. By the time he looks back, he goes to play it with his stick. He just clean misses this puck, just completely misjudges it and does not even get a piece of it. And then you can see it's picked up by Florida. Makar is going to try and scramble back into position and just gets completely turned around with a couple of nice passes. So he's completely removed from the play, and Bellemare also bites, leaving a wide open lane to Grubauer. It gets fired and Grubauer gets beat short side. Yep, Cale Makar is still a rookie. That's going to happen sometimes. It's somewhat forgivable to a certain extent because of that. The problem is, not only was Cale Makar struggling that badly in this game, you were also getting a lot of that out of both Sam Girard and Eric Johnson, which means the Avs' arguable top three defensemen were all having a bad time. Also, probably don't want to see your goalie get beat short side there. Maybe Grubauer was cheating a bit on another pass across. Maybe another one he would have liked back. At that point in the game, it was not looking great for Grubauer throughout it, but that would change, and we'll get to that. Either way, that was easily the sloppiest period of the season so far for the Avs, and they were down 3-1 after 1. You remember what the Avs did going up 4-0 against Washington in the second period? They completely sat back and stopped playing hockey. Well, that's more or less what Florida did for the first half of the second period. For the Avs, I think it's somewhat forgivable. Being up 4 goals, you have a little bit of an excuse. Florida was only up 2. Seems a bit risky to me, but hey, the Avs jump on it and they start controlling the play. Even being in the driver's seat, though, there was a lot of futility going on for the Avs. They get a power play early in the period that they do absolutely nothing with, and then they start generating quality opportunities, but the puck just won't go, whether it's Bobrovsky making nice saves, or to be honest, most of the time it was the Avs just firing it right into his pads. In fact, Donskoy had a wide open net. All he had to do was put it in the 4x6, and he shot it right into Keith Yandle's skate. Things just weren't quite breaking the Avs' way in the entire first half of this game. There were still moments of sloppiness throughout, but the Avs had definitely trended in the right direction while Florida had trended in the wrong. And if you stay in control for long enough, eventually a puck is going to find the back of the net. And the Avs get help from their most consistent line, the fourth line. EJ finds Bellemare on a stretch pass here, and it gets pretty sloppy, but the Avs do manage to enter the zone, and this initiates a board battle. And look at the effort here. First by Bellemare, he doesn't really do a great job, but he gets knocked down and still manages to shovel the puck ahead to Matt Calvert, who then collects, fights his own battle along the boards here to end up winning the puck back for the Avs. He's eventually able to knock this puck loose, and Bellemare collects it. Bellemare walks in, and once again, not brought in for his offense, does a great job drawing both Florida defenders to him and then finding Matt Nieto out in the slot, and Nieto just jams this one home. This is going to be a running theme for the Avalanche this year. From top to bottom, they can hit you and score on you at any moment, any line, any time. It just takes one shift, one play. They make it a one-goal game, and then they show exactly what I mean 30 seconds later, tying it up. A 2-on-2 rush here for the Avs. You're going to see Donskoy does his traditional cut-to-the-middle move that he lugs to do on the breakout, but it gets defended well for once, and to defend it well, the defenseman has to step up. So this gives Donskoy an out, where he can kind of just float the puck ahead, and Burakovsky, knowing what's coming, can step up and collect it. This creates a bit of a one-on-one situation. Burakovsky actually shows some really intelligent skating here to create space for himself to shake the trailer and also give enough room to work with the puck from the man back. So he cuts out wide, is able to just cut in right at the top of the circle and lean on his stick to load up for the wrister. He gets it off, and this is just an unbelievable wrist shot. Basically, Bobrovsky never even sees it. It's just ripped bar down. A lot of things have gone right for the Avs so far through this season. They've gotten a point in every single game. Heck, they've only lost one game, and they seem to be able to score goals pretty much at will. Those things will come and go. The Avs will eventually lose a game in regulation, as much as it seems like they won't at this point, and sometimes they're going to struggle to score. But one thing they are absolutely built for this year is quick strike offense. At any moment, from anywhere, they have snipers that can put one in the back of the net. And Florida learned that lesson the hard way. Game is now tied 3-3. And then things got really weird because the Avs continued to be super sloppy on the defensive end and Florida couldn't sit back anymore. So a minute and 10 seconds later, another goal. Calvert's going to attempt a cross-ice pass to Nieto here, but he telegraphs it pretty badly. It gets read and picked off, creating a rush for Florida. With all three Avs forwards going hard into the zone there, it creates basically a 4-on-2 situation. Really a 2-on-2 up front, but both trailers coming in are Panthers. Zadorov waves off Makar. Makar takes the man going deep into the zone. And then we kind of get a weird situation. Because it's a 4-on-2, Zadorov has to keep him honest playing a bit of the pass here, not letting these two a ton of space to get into the zone deep and fire in a shot with Grubauer moving side to side. But he doesn't take the puck at all here. He essentially gives him a lane to walk in all the way to the face-off dot and in. That's putting a lot of faith in Grubauer, and this time Grubauer can't pull it off. That's just kind of a tough situation goal. Need to be a little bit more careful with your puck possession there. Don't telegraph a cross-ice pass like that when all three of your forwards are completely committing to the offensive zone. And this was a goal that could have hurt badly. The Avs battling back into the game, getting 2 quick goals to tie it, only to fall behind immediately after. But as it turns out, this 3-minute stretch of the second period was just the bizarro world. And 15 seconds later, we're tied again. Defense is overrated. Some incredibly great work along the boards here from Donskoy. Burakovsky you're going to see going to the net, and then Kadri comes and pitches in along the boards as well. They look more like the fourth line than the second for a lot of this shift. Just grinding it out, doing the work that you have to do before getting it out up high. The shot is going to come through from Cole on net. Good job to get the shot through here. Burakovsky just kind of sneaking across. He gets the nice rebound. It trickles right out. He's the only one to recognize where it is, and it's an easy tap in. Burakovsky's second of the game. Nothing makes any sense anymore, and it is 4-4. Look, if you're going to play a mess of a hockey game, you might as well make it fun, right? The bizarro world would come to an end, and it would still be 4-4 after 2. And then the third period would go from a fun game to a terrifying one. The Avs would once again make things quite hard on themselves, but this time, instead of Grubauer trying to find his feet, he would be an absolute beast. The Avs would take 2 penalties relatively early in the period, and the only reason they didn't give up a goal was Grubauer being awesome. If you give Barkov this chance again, he'd probably make it about 98 out of 100 times, but somehow Grub gets the glove over and up and saves it with the wrist. So while Grub is dragging the husk of a defense left for the Avs all the way through the third, it's only fair that the Avs have a chance to end the game as well. An incredible read by Nieto here to cut across and pick off this puck, and then just a great poke check as well. He walks in, he beats Bobrovsky, but the puck just won't go. From the overhead, you can see Nieto just couldn't beat himself, just jams it right into the post. Neither team could finish it in the clutch. Grubauer does the lion's share of the work in a third period that was 12-7 shots to Florida, and they get into overtime, securing at least a point. The overtime was a bit odd. I think it was a weaker overtime, at least of the three the Avs have had this season. They didn't possess the puck quite as well, and Florida got a number of quality opportunities, but clearly Grub was in the zone at this point, so nothing was doing on that end. And at this point, if the Avs are in overtime, just never take Burakovsky off the ice, because good things seem to happen. Avs have just gained possession. Sam Girard gets the puck up to Burakovsky, who's going to carry it up and through the neutral zone. He gets the offensive line before pulling up a little bit. You can see the eye contact here. Burakovsky recognizes McKinnon is coming into the zone. He finds him in stride. McKinnon collects it, and Burakovsky, having dragged two Florida players to him, gives McKinnon the exact line he needs. McKinnon walks in, picks his spot, top of the circle, already letting it go. Bob, you ain't stopping it. Game. After a brutal game from the three-headed monster, McKinnon still shows up when the Avs absolutely need it. That's why he's the best. But the real story is Burakovsky. A 3-point night here, obviously, but he also has 8 points in 7 games, over a point per game so far with the Avs. It is still a small sample size, but it's not the microscopic one we had to start the season. 7 games is just shy of 10% of the season, really. So, hey, if he can be even partially this consistent, man, the Avs have themselves a steal. There was a whole lot of messiness to this game, but on the road, you take wins however they come. And when you have the depth to win games off of essentially goaltending and your second line producing, well, it's really, really fun to watch. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching, and head on over to thednvr.com and consider subscribing for more premium content. I am Rudo, and the Avs certainly didn't do themselves any favors. They go to OT and now have to turn around and play Tampa.
Avalanche time, come on, grab your friends. We're going to the playoffs again with Nate the Dog and